In the last episode, we met Hosea, a prophet commanded to marry an unfaithful wife. Through his broken marriage, God revealed the depth of Israel's betrayal and the stubborn persistence of divine love. But now another voice rises from the prophetic chorus. His name is Joel, and he sees something coming that will strip the land bare. The sky darkens. A sound rises from the east, low at first, then louder, a hum that becomes a roar. Locusts. Millions of them, billions, a living cloud that blots out the sun. They descend on the fields like an army. They devour everything. Grain, vines, fig trees, olive groves, nothing escapes. What the cutting locust left, the swarming locust has eaten. What the swarming locust left, the hopping locust has eaten. What the hopping locust left, the destroying locust has eaten. Joel stands in the aftermath. The land is a wasteland. The harvest is gone. The wine has dried up. The oil fails. He calls the people to mourn. Wake up, you drunkards, and weep. Wail, all you drinkers of wine, for it has been snatched from your lips. The priests are summoned. The elders gather. A fast is declared. The nation is told to weep. But Joel does not stop at the locusts. He sees something behind them, something worse. The day of the Lord. This phrase appears throughout the prophets. It is not a single event. It is a pattern, a rhythm of history, a moment when God intervenes, when the normal order of things is shattered, when judgment falls. Joel sees the locust plague as a foretaste, a warning, a rehearsal for a greater devastation to come. Blow the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm on my holy hill. Let all who live in the land tremble, for the day of the Lord is coming. It is close at hand. He describes an army unlike any other, a day of darkness and gloom, a day of clouds and blackness. Like dawn spreading across the mountains, a large and mighty army comes, such as never was in ancient times, nor ever will be in ages to come. This is not just a natural disaster. This is cosmic judgment. The sun turns dark. The moon turns to blood. The stars withdraw their shining. Before them the earth shakes. The heavens tremble. The Lord thunders at the head of his army. Joel paints a picture of total devastation, but he does not leave the people with hope. Even now, declares the Lord, return to me with all your heart, with fasting and weeping and mourning. Rend your heart and not your garments. This is the center of Joel's message. Outward ritual is not enough. Tearing clothes in grief means nothing if the heart remains unchanged. God calls for genuine repentance, not performance, not religious theater, a real turning. And if they turn, God will respond. Return to the Lord your God, for he is gracious and compassionate, slow to anger, and abounding in love, and he relents from sending calamity. Joel echoes the ancient confession, first given to Moses on Sinai. The God who judges is also the God who forgives. The prophet calls for a sacred assembly. Everyone must gather, the elders, the children, even infants at the breast. Even the bride and groom must leave their chambers. Let the priests weep between the portico and the altar. Let them say, "Spare your people, Lord. Do not make your inheritance an object of scorn." And then the tone shifts. The Lord answers. I am sending you grain, new wine, and olive oil, enough to satisfy you fully. Never again will I make you an object of scorn among the nations. The army from the north will be driven away. The locusts will be pushed into the sea. The stench of their bodies will rise, but the land will recover. Be not afraid, land of Judah. Be glad and rejoice. The Lord has done great things. The rains will return. The threshing floors will be filled with grain. The vats will overflow with new wine and oil. I will repay you for the years the locusts have eaten. This is one of the most powerful promises in the prophetic books. Restoration is not partial, it is complete. The years of loss are not merely forgotten, they are repaid. But Joel does not stop at agricultural restoration. He looks further into the future. And afterward, I will pour out my Spirit on all people. Your sons and daughters will prophesy. Your old men will dream dreams. Your young men will see visions. Even on my servants, both men and women, I will pour out my Spirit in those days. This is radical. In the ancient world, the Spirit of God was given to specific individuals, prophets, kings, judges. It was rare. It was selective. Joel sees a day when the Spirit will be poured out on everyone, not just leaders, not just men, not just the educated or the powerful, sons and daughters, old and young, servants and free. The boundaries are shattered. Centuries later, when the disciples gather in Jerusalem on the day of Pentecost, and the Spirit falls on them with wind and fire, the Apostle Peter stands up and quotes this very passage. This is what was spoken by the prophet Joel. Joel's vision is fulfilled in that moment, but even that moment is only a beginning. The prophet continues, I will show wonders in the heavens and on the earth, blood and fire and billows of smoke. The sun will be turned to darkness and the moon to blood, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. The imagery is apocalyptic. The world as we know it will not continue forever. A final reckoning is coming. But in the middle of this terror, a lifeline is thrown, and everyone who calls on the name of the Lord will be saved. Judgment is not the final word. Salvation is offered. Escape is possible, but it requires a response, a calling out, a turning. Joel closes with a vision of the final judgment. The nations are gathered in the valley of Jehoshaphat, multitudes upon multitudes in the valley of decision. The sun and moon grow dark, the stars no longer shine. The Lord roars from Zion, he thunders from Jerusalem. The heavens and the earth shake. But the Lord will be a refuge for his people, a stronghold for the people of Israel. After the judgment, blessing. The mountains will drip new wine. The hills will flow with milk. The ravines of Judah will run with water. A fountain will flow from the house of the Lord. Egypt will be desolate. Edom will become a desert waste. But Judah will be inhabited forever. Jerusalem through all generations. The Lord dwells in Zion. Joel's message is short but dense. It moves from locusts to apocalypse, from drought to the outpouring of the Spirit, from devastation to eternal restoration. The day of the Lord is both terrible and hopeful. It brings judgment, but it also brings salvation. It destroys, but it also renews. And at the center of it all is a call. Return. Rend your heart. Call on the name of the Lord. Joel's voice fades into the prophetic chorus, but his words echo through the centuries. The locusts may devour. The day may grow dark, but the Spirit will be poured out, and everyone who calls on the Lord will be saved. Thank you for listening to this episode about Joel and the day of the Lord. If this exploration of judgment and hope was meaningful, please consider subscribing to the channel, liking the video, and sharing it with others who might enjoy this series. In the next episode, we will hear from Amos, a shepherd from Tekoa who confronts the wealthy and powerful with a message they do not want to hear.